Bitcoin in 2020, right? And I was like, I understand this thing and this can change the world, but there's not enough people using it. How do I help more people to use Bitcoin? And I was like, well, I have this non-profit and I deal with people who are really struggling. If I can teach them how to use Bitcoin, nobody else has an excuse to tell me, no, it's too difficult, I can't use it. It's like, no, like if these guys can use Bitcoin, anyone can use it. You know what I mean? Like if there's some middle-class housewife sitting in a rich neighborhood and she's like, no, computers, Bitcoin, no, it's too complicated. I'm like, bullshit. Look here, these guys are using it. If they can use it, you can use it, you know? It's like, it's the same as if you were to onboard your grandmother to Bitcoin, you know? If your grandma can use Bitcoin, anybody can do it. So the timeline is basically started a business in 2010. At the same time as the business, we started the non-profit, which is where we are now. The business does surf tourism to South Africa. The non-profit does surfing for underprivileged youth. So started the two together. And so by 2020, I'd been running the non-profit for about a decade. Came across Bitcoin Beach in 2019, and I heard what they were doing in El Salvador. And I mean, I stumbled across Bitcoin in 2013, started using it in the business in 2015. So by 2020, I've been obsessed with Bitcoin for many years. Like this was the only thing I really cared about because I understood the significance of what's going on here. Everything I do from here onwards is focused on getting more people to understand and use Bitcoin. And then I remembered the Bitcoin Beach example, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to turn the non-profit into a vehicle to help drive the adoption of Bitcoin. And the non-profit has benefited immensely. I mean, we're helping more kids learn surfing. We can employ better surf coaches. But for me personally, teaching the kids surfing is not the number one priority. For me personally, all of it's about Bitcoin adoption. Deep down, I think anybody that runs a charity knows that it's impossible to change the future of the world in that way. Whereas if you do force a majority adoption of Bitcoin, you're really going to impact the future in a positive way, because all of a sudden you basically force responsible behavior onto governments. I have to be responsible in the way I run my business because there's a bottom line. Governments don't have that. They can borrow and print infinitely. So that is how this impacts the future of the world. And it does that on a personal level too. Like I've seen that on a personal level as well. It has a very, very positive impact on the behavior of people. When you're constantly thinking about your decision-making process, going, look, I can buy this thing now, but is it really necessary? Because if I don't buy this right now and I keep this in Bitcoin, I will accumulate value and wealth over time. So I will buy things if they're really necessary, but if they're not really necessary, I'll make a future and I'll delay that gratification and I'll have a longer-term outlook. My time preference goes down. We have 18 people that work here, 10 full-time and 8 part-time. And all 18 salaries are paid 100% Bitcoin.
I am able to save a little bit more now, now that I'm using Bitcoin. It's a lot better than in rand. I used to get paid in rands before, but now I'm getting paid in Bitcoin, and it's much, much, much better. There's shops here in the township that can accept Bitcoin as a payment. So yeah, I do use it in the township here. Yeah, I prefer Bitcoin because I can save a lot with Bitcoin.
Life is good with the Bitcoin now. It was hard before, at least now we know about Bitcoin. We can do anything we want. Getting paid in Bitcoin. If I want to change it, then I can change it to rand. But I don't prefer to change that. I prefer to save. For a swim coach, then that's how I joined. part of the goals that I want to accomplish. Seeing one of the kids also being Iron Man maybe, or being one of the best surfers in Mossel Bay.
Whenever we do anything in the township community, I try to push them to take the lead. I don't want to create the impression that I run the operation, because I'm not from there. So I can't tell them, oh, you should do this, you should do that, then your life will be better. It's like, well, who are you? You're a rich white dude, like, you know. But if people from their own community are telling them you should do that and you should do that and that will improve your life, and they can see that that person did the same thing because they live next to that person, that's different, you know.
Okay, like my dream is that like I don't want to leave this township. I want to build my own place in this township. Like first time, like I was having a dream, like staying in the suburbs. So Herman did give me an idea to how to stay in the suburbs. So he did say to me, like, in the suburbs, if you're staying in the suburbs, like Diastrand, we have to pay more bills, like water bills, electricity, and then we have to always pay. So here, if I can buy like a RDP house and then build a big mansion, so it's gonna be easy for me. And also, like many people, they're gonna see, okay, Bitcoin is real, because it did change my life. And also, like I was not fed like this before. People, they know me before I was so thin, and after I just started receiving Bitcoin as a payment, and then I never stress about fiat, because fiat is the thing that makes you stress. So Bitcoin don't make you stress. Like Bitcoin gives people hope. I have hope. So that's why like I did quit like going around with friends, and also going to ship-ins every night, every Saturday, to waste my money. So now I feel another way now. It's like if I go to the ship-in, it's like I'm wasting my money. So that money I have to use to the ship-in every Friday and every Saturday. It's that money I just take it and then put in my Bitcoin savings. So now I'm no longer drinking. I'm no longer going around. My friend is my girlfriend and my kids only. Yeah.
So there's a building with a red roof in the middle. So that's one of 4 primary schools that we work with. How can I put it? That's the most important primary school. So I'd say about 80% of the kids that come and learn to surf here come from that primary school.
And how are you today? We are fine, thank you. You may sit down. I just learners need one. Okay, so what happened is that Bitcoin Ekasi, they come and teach us about the currents, how to use Bitcoin Ekasi. So it was fairly the first time we were not comfortable about it. We are using money and we're not used to this. But through that, we have learned how to use it now in our shops. Bitcoin on its own, it's actually integrating all diversity of people from all walk of life. It's something that brings people together. The surfer kids, I'm saying that it was a white man's sport before. It's because only we will see white kids at the beach with their daddies who can afford. So this a great opportunity was given now to our kids actually to be involved with safer kids, and they love it. In future, this will be used with, these young kids will use this. This will go viral in future. In 10 years to 15 years, maybe it will become a Bitcoin location where that Bitcoin actually currency, it's so strong in the community. But yeah, I say cooler Bitcoin Ekasi, cooler. meaning growth. BN, growth, yes.
I'm going to call Slew quickly to find out where he is. Yo. 1 hour.
Yes, I'm here in the robot.
Ah, okay, cool. See you now. Okay, cheers. And it's a really cool car. It's a nice experience to drive in that thing. Draws a lot of attention, and it's kind of it's kind of cool. Like it's a great way to start the conversation with someone. We've accomplished a lot by just having that vehicle there, and then people are like, "What the hell is that thing?" And then they start asking questions about what are you doing, what is Bitcoin, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of cool. I think you guys should drive with him.
Cheers. Open and then we are going to the Kasi Center. It's very cool. It's very cool, really. When you pass around to a lot of locals, they'll be surprised. Wow, that's a beast over there. My assignment, I'm working as a community support at a Kasi Center. So my assignment is to help the locals if they have any question regarding Bitcoin. So Lutando was working for Safer Kids, and then they were in need of 2 full-time lifeguards. So that's where it started. And then I meet Herman. Herman tell me that he's going to pay my salary with Bitcoin. So that's all it started. My journey started there.
Did you know of Bitcoin before that?
No, I didn't know anything about Bitcoin, but for help of Lutando and Herman explained for me like into detail what Bitcoin is. So it didn't make sense to me, but as the time goes by and then as I learn more, it started to make sense to me. Around here we have 31 shops now that are accepting Bitcoin. Okay, welcome to Bitcoin Kasi Center.
I'm teaching Bitcoin now. I'm teaching the school kids and the youth. It's going very well because for as long as they understand what we are teaching, and then we take it from there. We open here at the center from Mondays to Fridays for us to assist the community people so that they can get used in using Bitcoin to receive and send Satoshis. And they are welcome to come here and exchange their cash in this cash machine. And then they can insert the coins here, and then they can receive the set in their phones. That we use, and then we show them how to purchase the items that we have in the thrift shop.
Yes. Yeah, then insert some coin. Then you press it, scan it with your wallet.
Got it.
Got it. But in life here, it's very hard in the township. It's very hard. And also one thing, those guys are staying in the shacks, they receive some weekly Bitcoin, 5,000 sets. But those 5,000 sets, we use a proof of work in Bitcoin. So the guys who are staying in the shack, they won't receive their salary if the place is not clean. But now they are starting to get into the mode of cleaning all their area. Lutando, he monitor the place if it's clean, there's no paper lying around. If there is any paper, he don't pay them.
This is the first check like we did painted. Bitcoin Economies check. This was the first check we did painted first before the other checks. So yeah. They did orange peel you. It's like orange peel.
Yeah.
The guy, they orange peel you to Bitcoin.
Orange peel.
Yeah, we say orange peel. The cloud. This is the guy, one of the guys that they are receiving sets every week.
I cleaning all this area.
Yeah.
I cleaning all this area around, maybe around of all those people who are staying close to me. Then I'm getting for the pay for this wall, yeah. But the payment when I get it is just for the cleaning and sometimes for the painting.
But it looks a little bit dirty here.
Yeah. Good day to you. Very clean.
You see, these people, he was working on this weekend. So I was waiting for these people. He must done for the building this house. Then I can start to do my work for the cleaning. This is my house. Those guys who are paying me for the painting this house. And sometimes this guy who are paying me for all this area, I'm cleaning all this area. Then I plug my plastic there. When I'm done, I take a picture for that plastic, then I send a picture for this guy. Then I can get the painting, a payment. I'm happy for that because I like cleaning job, because my work I was working for the cleaning areas. So when these guys coming to me, give me plastic, saying, okay, look here, man, you must clean this area, then you can get money. So that job is not difficult to me, it was fine for me. So I'm happy for that.
Yeah, this is a nice view. And also this guy, they are not understanding that some people, they have to pay millions to stay on view like this one.
Yeah.
So like they are not understanding that they have a great view.
Okay, yes, this is the first shop in the township that first accept Bitcoin as a payment. Mulin. That's Musite, the shop owner. The first one to accept Bitcoin as a payment.
Yes, actually the way that it started small, but one of our Bitcoin Ekasi, he introduced me to Bitcoin. So actually because we were the first spaza shop that we were around and closer. So he introduced because he wanted to spend some sets on us, usually to spend it on Pick and Pay. So that's how actually we started it. We started 2020, now we're almost now 4 years in Bitcoin. In our country, usually when you save your money, it's easy to change it, it's easy to spend it. But because Bitcoin, it's a new thing that comes, especially in our culture. So it's a little bit, now you don't want it to spend so much because that's where actually my savings are the most, so that when I'm old or else I'm not here, my kids can have something better for their life.
Waves crash, chains break. From Cape Town streets to township gates. The ocean moves, the code flows. No permission, everybody knows. Surfers ride the rising tide. Bankers fall, they can't hide from the shacks to the shore. Bitcoin opens every door. Bitcoin, Bitcoin.
So yeah, it's just another way to attract the kids to come down and join the program. You know, it's a fun thing for them to do. When you can't surf, you can skate. It's a healthy activity. Keeps them away from the streets, and ultimately for me, it gives me another reason to create more jobs for coaches to pay more salaries in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So if let's say we only have the surfing program, then maybe we can employ 2 or 3 coaches. But now because we have this and the surfing program, we can employ 4 or 5 coaches because there's enough work for more people because you can accommodate more kids to do more things. And that's really the only thing I'm interested in. I'm interested in how much funding can I raise in Bitcoin to employ as many people as possible in a sustainable way, obviously, because that's how I drive the circular economy. It's basically the salaries that are paid in sats. There are other ways to do it. You know, Bitcoin Witsand is a very, very different model. They do things very different from us, but they also achieve the same end goal, which is the adoption of Bitcoin as daily money in a circular economy type fashion. But they don't have a social development program. They don't have any kids from a township coming there. It's a very different approach, which is actually kind of cool. It's nice to have such 2 different examples so close together. I mean, Witsand is only 2 hours drive away, but it's on opposite sides of the spectrum in many ways, in almost all ways. So it's kind of cool. But I know Edwin very well. That guy is awesome. He's one of the best Bitcoiners I know. Such a cool guy. And he comes here all the time.
I think what got me to start helping people in Witsand is, so when I moved from Johannesburg, this big city where nobody knows anybody, right? You don't even know what your neighbor is doing, or like you never meet them. And then you move to this small town where everybody knows everything about everybody else. Like, you know what people have for breakfast and dinner. You know when somebody's out of town or going to visit their grandmother or anything like that. And then for the first time in your life, you really have meaningful relationships. And then knowing what I knew about Bitcoin, you just realize like there is no way that you can keep that to yourself. We started just throwing parties. we call it a Bitcoin bash, and we just like we do a spit braai. So we get a sheep or 2 from local farmer, and we'll have like 70 people at a Bitcoin party, but they're there for the meat, they're there for the drinks, and then they just learn from the memes and stuff on the walls, and inevitably there's some Bitcoin discussions, and so making it a little bit more fun, I think, was probably the big breakthrough. Start with one, so find one business and give them all your attention. Make sure that business owner doesn't have to go through any trouble. You train their staff, you do free advertising for the business, you make sure that they've got everything that they need. So you really partner with a business and you make sure that everything works perfectly at that business. And then whatever you learn from the first one, you start expanding, moving that to like the next businesses that onboard. Power of one, you just need one to work properly, and then you can just replicate it. Once we started doing advertising for the local businesses, all the other businesses wanted it as well, right? So now they want to go on the advertising, so then a lot of businesses started onboarding. So what we started doing is like printing vouchers and then giving those out to locals that didn't have Bitcoin yet, telling them to download a wallet, and then they would then go to the shops that accept Bitcoin and then spend the Bitcoin there. Do you guys accept Bitcoin yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Have you ever done a Bitcoin transaction yourself?
No, I haven't.
Not? Can I send you some Bitcoin? Then you can go and spend it at Pick n Pay or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Right.
Okay, so download Blink Wallet. I think that's the best one. It's a day-to-day wallet. You're not going to put your life savings on there, but it's basically free transactions, and you can send it anywhere in the world, like at the speed of light. So
Cool.
the moment you refresh, you'll see the money's all there already.
Wow.
So you now, and you could have been anywhere in the world, right? You could have been in America or Malawi. I could have sent you money just by knowing your username. Yeah.
This is great, yeah?
And help her as well. That happens like, 5 times a day. Yeah. You just need to get the guy interested, and then once he's interested and he's got some money on his in his wallet, he goes to Pick and Pay tomorrow. He goes buy something. It becomes real. Like after that, there's no. Once they know, they know. You can't unlearn it. So that's quite cool. Yeah, I can't even, my head starts spinning when I start thinking of how fast this is happening and the consequences of that. But what we're seeing at the moment is we're seeing, I made a list of circular economies yesterday, and I stopped at 15 circular economies that are busy in South Africa now. And 2 years ago, it was basically, I think, 3, Ubuntu, Ikazi, and Witsand. The exponential growth is insane, and I think what's going to be even more significant is when the edges of those circular economies start meeting, where at the moment you've got Bitcoin Ikazi orange pilling Mossel Bay, and you've got Witsand on the other side, but we are going to see in Albertina and Riversdale, as those economies encroach and people from both those economies start onboarding people in those shops, there's going to be an explosion in those, I think, the towns in between. If I just follow that trend, I think South Africa can be hyper-bitcoinized within the next 5 years. Yeah, I'm now in Plate. I want to see how much damage, how much adoption I can drive in Plate from what I've learned in Witsand. And I think Plate is also very ripe for Bitcoin adoption.
Do you feel it's easier now than when it were back then?
Oh my, yeah, so much easier. Just in terms of just getting people to start spending Bitcoin. If I walk in the streets, I'll get 5 people in one day to download a wallet and just to go spend it. 2 years ago, that would happen in a month. So it has become much easier. Hello. The way things are going at the moment with Plate, what's awesome to me is at least best case scenario, what I think will happen within the next year, maybe hopefully December, when all the holiday makers come down to Plate, we will probably have signs up in hopefully 20, 30, maybe 40 stores. It will be almost impossible for holiday makers to kind of ignore Bitcoin. Maybe we'll have some billboards or something up, and like we did in Witsand. And when those holiday makers go home, the hope is that then they take this message, or at least the understanding that Bitcoin is money and it's a medium of exchange, and that it's better than anything else that we've got. They take that back to where they came from, and then they go and just orange pull the people there. So maybe a year, 2 years from now, Plate can be the tree that throws seeds all over South Africa, and hopefully a year from now we end with, or 2 years from now we end with 200 circular economies in South Africa because of something like this.
Bitcoin.